Hey guys, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 bringing to you another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. And what a shocker and what an epic way to end Summerslam 2021 with the return of the Beast Incarnate himself, Brock Lesnar. Now, this is the first time that we have actually seen Brock Lesnar in over a year since losing the Universal title to Drew McIntyre back at WrestleMania 36. And Brock Lesnar, as we all know, he doesn't do interviews, he doesn't do social media or Twitter or Instagram or any of those things. And Brock Lesnar has largely been absent. His contract expired. There hasn't been any talk of him renewing his contract. There were rumors of him even signing up with AEW, which didn't happen, of course. And of course, during that time, Roman Reigns has completely reinvented himself. He's become a heel. He's now known as the Tribal Chief / head of the table. He's the Universal Champion. He's hooked up with Paul Heyman, who, of course, as we all know, is the advocate / manager of Brock Lesnar. And he's formed a faction with his cousins, the Usos, and they're calling themselves the Bloodline. So a lot has happened during Brock Lesnar's absence. And of course, the big question about all of this with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns is Brock Lesnar. What would happen if Brock Lesnar came back? How would he react to his manager now hooking up with his old rival, Roman Reigns? Because Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, of course, have had a lot of matches in the past. WrestleMania 31, WrestleMania 34, SummerSlam, these guys have been going at it on and off for the better part of 6 years, on and off. So Brock Lesnar came back with a bang at the end of SummerSlam after Roman Reigns retained the Universal title with an epic victory over John Cena. And I'll never forget hearing that music and seeing Brock Lesnar coming out in a new look, full beard, mohawk ponytail. I mean, he looked like a beast. No pun intended. And he looked in fantastic shape. Maybe it's just me, but Brock Lesnar definitely looked a lot bigger. Woo! So now that Brock Lesnar is back, what happens next? Is Brock Lesnar a face? Or is he still a heel? Where does Paul Heyman fit into this puzzle? Will Paul Heyman stay with Roman Reigns? Because he's been working very closely with him for well over a year. Or will he go back with his old client, Brock Lesnar? Or will Paul Heyman do the dirty on Brock Lesnar again? Because as we all know, Paul Heyman has stabbed Brock Lesnar in the past, for those of you who have followed Brock Lesnar's first run in WWE. This is a story that I'm very, very intrigued to see happen and unfold. I'm going to be watching SmackDown very, very closely if Brock Lesnar does show up on SmackDown. If he does, I will be watching very, very closely. Lots of great questions. We don't have any answers yet, but just the fact that Brock Lesnar is back in the WWE with his eyes on Roman Reigns is big. But can't help but feel, sorry to pour a little bit of cold water on everybody's heads, but we've seen all this before. I was hoping Brock Lesnar would actually come back and call out Bobby Lashley. That could still happen. But for right now, the story of Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman in the mix, very intriguing story. Very much looking forward to seeing how this is going to play out. But it's great to see Brock Lesnar back. One thing about Brock Lesnar, like him or not, people do turn their nose up at the lack of his appearances on the shows. But I'm telling you now, when that music hits and you see him come out, it's fire in the air, it's electricity, and the place just goes nuts. Because Brock Lesnar's the real deal. No matter what you might think of him, when he shows up, he makes an impact and everybody is talking about him. So that's going to be it for me. I am going to wrap this up now. What's your thoughts on Brock Lesnar coming back? Do you think he's back as a face, or do you think he's going to be a tweener or a heel? Where does Paul Heyman fit into this? Will he stay with Roman Reigns? Will he go back with Brock Lesnar? Or is this just a one-off? Could he jump to Raw and call out Bobby Lashley for the WWE title? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time. And once again, great to see Brock Lesnar back, and just remember everyone, here comes the pain. So until next time, take care everybody, and stay safe, and once again, thanks for listening.